Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and it's match day 15 in the Premier League, and we are here to make our predictions. What an exciting weekend we have in store for us. It was a great weekend. We already had a three game. It's going to be the third game in 7 days for the English teams. They played last weekend. Then we had that midweek fixtures where a lot of drama happened. Liverpool drawing their game. Arsenal thrashing, not thrashing, basically bossing United in that game. Chelsea are thrashing Southampton. They move up to a second place as well. Manchester City finally winning a game, so it was quite an interesting midweek fixtures for the Premier League team. So let's see what they are going to do this weekend, and we start with one of the biggest games in English football. It is the Merseyside derby. It is Everton versus Liverpool. It is massive in every regard, every regard anyway. But this time, this is going to be the last Merseyside derby at the Goodison Park. So this is going to be, an even bigger day, and this is going to be the first time I am going to do a watch along. I'm going to do a watch along for this Everton versus Liverpool. So please join me in that as well. Coming to the game, it is quite an interesting game. Like the thing with a derby, especially if it's an Arsenal versus Spurs derby or a United City derby, and then of course the Merseyside derby, you cannot go into this game thinking thinking about the form, because forms go outside the derby. It's going to be a very, very emotional game, to be very honest with you. The Evertonian fans, the Toffees, they are going to be so up for it. As I said, it's the last derby at Goodison Park before they move to their new stadium, so they would expect nothing but a win. Like this is going to be the perfect send off for them, for their stadium, if they are able to beat Liverpool, because it's firstly, it's the bragging rights that they are going to defeat Liverpool. It's a derby, that's the one thing, and then secondly, it's their last derby at Goodison, so that's going to be a big memory. And the main thing is, if Everton defeat Liverpool, they are going to hurt Liverpool's title chances as well. So it's going to be so emotional for Evertonians, and I think if the players have that emotion, the 50% of the emotions that the fans are going to have, I think you are going to get a great game of football. Everton are not doing really good in the in the league at the moment, but as I said, in the derby you cannot count on form, and you cannot really count what's happening because it's a different game. Liverpool, they know how important this game is. They already dropped 2 points against Newcastle. That was a very, very good game of football, but they end up drawing that game, and the lead has been cut down to 7 points for Chelsea and Arsenal, and 9 points for Manchester City. So they know they cannot really afford to drop this point. But to be very honest with you, I don't see Liverpool winning this game. I could be really wrong in this one, and this could be my biasness speaking as an Arsenal fan. But I think because of the occasion and what this game is going to mean to Evertonians, I think they are going to somehow get something out of this game. They might not win it, but I don't think they are going to lose. I'm going for a very entertaining 2-all draw in the Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool. The next game is Brentford versus Newcastle. It is 11th versus 12th. Brentford, they had a great win over the weekend. They went into the top 10, and then on midweek they lost to Aston Villa 3-1. It was quite a convincing win for Aston Villa, and Brentford have dropped down back out of the top 10. They are 11th. It was and they are playing against the Newcastle side, who are, to be very honest, winless in their last 3 games. But they had a great game against Newcastle, against Liverpool, sorry, midweek, where they made them drop the point. So it is the thing with Brentford are they are quite inconsistent. They can be really amazing on their day, but you really don't they, unfortunately for them, they don't really have that many amazing days playing against the Newcastle side, who themselves are quite inconsistent. I mean, they were amazing against Newcastle, but you really don't know what they are going to do over the weekend with Brentford. I expect goals in this game. I think it will be a very interesting game, full of goals, but again, I just don't see a winner in this game. And if some team has to win, I think it will be Brentford, but I'm going to stay on the fence with this on this game, and I'm going with the same result I went for the Merseyside derby. I think it's going to be a 2-all draw between Brentford and Newcastle. The next game is Aston Villa versus Southampton. It is 8th versus 28th. Aston Villa finally won a game after almost like 2 months. It felt like they had forgot how to win a game, but they were really good against Brentford midweek. They needed that. I said that they this could be the game where they turn things around in my prediction video, and they turn things around. They just needed something to go for them, and they have got it. They're back in it. Like the thing with because of how tight the league is, you cannot rule any team team out. After just a few games, they are now eighth. They are on 22 points, like a point behind the fifth, the team who's on fifth, and I think that's Brighton at the moment. So that's how close the league is. A great performance for Aston Villa. They are playing against the Southampton side this weekend, who they got thrashed by Chelsea 5-1. Unfortunately for Southampton, that it was quite a bad performance. And Chelsea, the way they are playing, it was expected. This game again, I don't see any other result apart from Aston Villa winning this game. They had a great performance against Brentford, and I think they are going to continue this one. And I think there's going to be another thumping for Southampton. I'm going for a 4-0 win for Aston Villa. And it's Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. It is 17th versus 4th. Crystal Palace have just lost once in their last 5 games, so they are sort of starting to gather the points that can get them away from these relegation places. They won against Ipswich over in midweek. That was a big win for them. They now have a 3 points gap between them and Ipswich and Wolves in the relegation zone, I think. So they're making sure that they can at least have some distance between them. They are playing against a Manchester City side who have won win in their last 5 games. They finally won against Nottingham Forest. It was quite a good performance by Manchester City, quite a calm and composed performance. But there was a bit of there were bit of moments where they could have easily gone back and things could have gone wrong. Again, that's a miss from Chris Wood. I think that was the moment where sort of the game changed. If he scores there, there could have been a different. But Manchester City somehow managed to avoid that, and then they played their game. Of course, Manchester City, when given the chance, they are going to destroy you. I think this could be another one of those games where Manchester City, if they somehow fall behind, and if they the longer Crystal Palace can hold them off, the more pressure it is going to get to Manchester City players. I think this is one of those games where Manchester City could drop points, and this is one of those games, even if Manchester City were not in such a bad form, they could have dropped the points. But now, because they are in such a bad form and the pressure is on Manchester City, let's be very honest with you, I think they can still go ahead and drop the points. But I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna do that. I could easily predict a draw here, but I'm not gonna do that. I think somehow, someway, Manchester City are going to win it. But if they drop the points, I would really not be shocked, to be very honest with you. But I still think they are going to win it. I'm going for a very close 2-1 win for Manchester City. It's Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest next. It's 13th versus 7th. Manchester United, they had a great win over the weekend, but then on midweek they lost against Arsenal. It was Amorim's first game against a big player side, and I think he did okay, to be very honest with you. He doesn't really have the squad, Amorim, yet he has the players from previous managers. It is going to take him time. It's a big project at Manchester United. As an Arsenal fan, I know how hard it is for a young manager to come in, and when you have these deadwood players in your squad to try to build, he's trying to figure out some players that he wants and some players that he doesn't want, to be very honest with you. And a lot of people, they talk about Liverpool and they talk about Chelsea and Maresca and Ancelotti and whatnot. Let's be very honest with you, Klopp left him probably one of the best squads that he could have left, and Ancelotti got that. Of course, he's doing his work, but he had a great squad with him. Maresca had an amazing set of players, and he's just using them the right way, and that's working for them. Amorim, he has a lot of work to do. United fans need to be patient. There are going to be games like against Arsenal where they play for a great for a half, but then they go ahead and they lose the points. This season has to be one of I would advise United fans to not get their hopes up to somehow that he's going to come in and he's not Harry Potter or something, that he's going to wave his wand and it's going to be wonderful everything. It's going to take time, and I think this season, if they somehow finish in top 10, I would say that's a good season for Manchester United. I don't think they are going to qualify for Europe at the moment, and I think he needs a time, Amorim, and United fans need to give it to him. They are playing against the Nottingham Forest side, who are doing really good in the league, but they have lost 3 out of their last 5 games, including the dropping that they got from Manchester City midweek. They won on the weekend, but they lost against Manchester City. They are going back to Manchester. They are not going to be that happy about it, but I think this is going to be a very close game of football, and I think this time around they are not gonna they are gonna get some points in this game. They are not gonna get the win, but I think it is going to end up in a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Then it's the London Derby. It is Fulham versus Arsenal. It is sixth versus third. Fulham are on an amazing run. They have won three out of their last five games. They defeated Brighton midweek, to get back into the top six. Marco Silva is doing an amazing. I think with Fulham, a lot of people did not expect Fulham to have such a good season. I did say, in my predictions, they were in like eighth or ninth, seventh or eighth in my prediction. I did say that they are going to have a good season under Marco Silva. And I just say that a lot of people are not looking at it with the score that he has. I did say they were going to have a good season, so I'm really happy that I got that right. They are doing an amazing. Yeah, they are having an amazing season at the moment, playing against my club Arsenal, who are sort of back. The last four games they have been really good, defeating Manchester United 2-0, defeating Manchester United, so West Ham United 5-2 over the weekend as well. So they are going to come in this game with a lot of confidence. I think it's going to be a very good game of football. Silva and Arteta both like to play attacking football. You are going to get it is going to be like that end-to-end stuff type of a game of football, and as a neutral you are going to enjoy that. But I think in the end somehow Arsenal are going to get the win. I'm not being biased also. I just think that the way the confidence that Arsenal have regained, I just don't see them dropping points against Fulham, especially if as I said, Liverpool end up dropping the points, which I think they would. That's going to be an extra incentive for the Arsenal players that they can cut that lead even shorter for themselves. I think it will be very, very close. It's not going to be an easy game for Arsenal, but I think in the end Arsenal are going to win it 2-1. The next game is Leicester City versus Brighton. It is 16th versus 5th. Leicester City, they finally won a game. I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy, what a start for him. His first game in charge, and they basically thrashed West Ham midweek. A great performance, and they could not have had a better start under Ruud van Nistelrooy than that game. It was a really good performance, but they are playing against a Brighton side who are who are having an amazing season, but they lost during the midweek against Fulham, so they are not going to be in a good form. They know they cannot now. Now Brighton are in that moment that the pressure is on them again. At the start of the season it was not on them, but now almost we are midway through the season, and now the expectations from the Brighton fans have started to increase again. They expect them to somehow finish in those top 5, top 6 places and get back to those European competitions. So they know this is a big game going away to Leicester. It is going to be quite a wonderful side. It's going to be a good game of football. Leicester are going to be pumped. They have a new manager. That was a great performance, and the fans are going to be really charged up for this. And at Brighton, they could be the spoilers, and I think they are going to be the spoilers, but I expect a really good game of football. I expect goals in this game. I am going for 5 goals in this game, but I think Brighton in the end are going to nick it. I'm going for a 3-2 win for a Brighton Albion. Up next is Ipswich Town versus Bournemouth. It is 18th versus 9th. Ipswich one win in their last 5 games, a winless in their last 3. They lost to Crystal Palace midweek. That was a big game for them, but they still ended up losing. And it was against their one of those their relegation rivals as well. So that was a big defeat for them. I said that game was very crucial, but as I said, it was a close game. But I still think that Ipswich did not play that good. To be very honest with you, they are playing. Their next game is against Bournemouth side, who are doing quite good, to be very honest with you. 3 wins in their last 5 games. They've sort of found that rhythm that they had lost for about a month ago, where they were under 15-16 a month ago, and now they are in the top 10. They are winning games like you expect Bournemouth to do. Bournemouth are one of those teams that can easily sneak under in the top 10, and they can sneak easily get the points without you ever noticing. They had a huge win over the weekend, and then again a big win against Spurs in midweek. At Bournemouth at home are really dangerous, and Spurs unfortunately found out how dangerous they are. This game is an away game, and Ipswich at Ellen Road, it's going to be quite a tricky fixture. Again, this is one of those games where you can expect a lot of goals. It's going to be crazy, filled with goals. But I think Bournemouth, with the way that they're playing and the form that they are in, I think they are going to get another 3 points in this game. I'm going for a 2-1 win. I'm going to change my prediction. Not a 2-1 win. I think Bournemouth are going to win this game with a 4-2 margin. We are going to get 6 goals, and Bournemouth are going to score 4, and Ipswich are going to score 2. Then we have another big London derby. It is Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea. It is 10th versus 2nd. Now Spurs are Spurs. Like Spurs are Spursy. You can say whatever you want. You really don't know what they are going to do. I mean, this is the same team who destroyed Manchester City a couple of weeks ago. Then last weekend they drew their game. Over the midweek they lost to Bournemouth. So as I said, Spurs, you don't really know what to expect from them. They are 10th in the league. There's a reason why they are 10th in the league, because they are so inconsistent. You just don't know what they are going to do playing against the Chelsea side, who are flying at the moment. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 wins in a row for them. They are second in the league, same points at Arsenal, with about a better goal difference with them. And this is a fixture that Chelsea love. It doesn't matter whether it's at Stamford Bridge, whether it used to be at White Hart Lane, or now at the new stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is a fixture that Chelsea love. It is a fixture that they have always done good. And with the way Spurs are playing, I just don't see any other results than a Chelsea win. And I think, to be very honest with you, they can go they can easily get humiliated with the way that they're playing. That high line, with the way that Chelsea play, I mean, it could be quite a literal suicide from Spurs. And Chelsea can could end up going to jail for murder. That's what I think. I think it is going to be quite a big game, and I think I'm going to make a bold statement here, but I think Chelsea are going to win it 5-1. And the last game of the weekend in the Premier League is West Ham United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. It is 14th versus 19th. Both these teams are not in a good form, to be very honest with you. Like West Ham, they lost to Everton over the weekend, or midweek. They lost to Arsenal over the weekend as well. Wolves themselves, it is all over the place for both of these teams. They just cannot win at the moment. One win for both of them in their last 5 games. I think it is West Ham are at home, so that gives them sort of an advantage. But again, you just don't know what to expect from both of these teams. They are so inconsistent at the moment, and I'm not gonna take a chance on any of them. I'm not gonna take a punt on any of them. I'm just gonna stay on the fence. I expect goals in this game, but not that many. I think both of them are gonna score once, and that is it. I think we are gonna get a draw, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw between West Ham United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. And that is it. This is for my predictions for Matchday 15. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below. And do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? We are gonna see how many of them are correct and not correct at the end of the weekend. We're gonna see how many points I can get. 1 point if the entire prediction along with the scoreline is correct, and half a point if the prediction is correct but the scoreline is not correct. So we're gonna see how many points I can get. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. And please click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. There is some problem with my channel at the moment. We're trying to figure this out. Until then, just make sure that the notification bell is clicked on so you don't miss out on any of my content. Until next time, bye bye.